it's already restarted.
It's already started?
Mm-hmm.
Can I say hi?
Oh, you know it.
Can I say hi to
Do you have your notes up? Are you ready?
Working on it.
Okay.
Can I say hi to them?
No. Okay. Let's hit those notes. Everybody should have your notes pulled up already, or in the process of doing that.
I bet you. Oh, what was that called?
Brett.
Just came up.
Where's Brack?
Is it a whole new like notes thing?
Yes.
Yes. AJ, you get them pulled up? Okay, I can't see you. Got it so dark. I can't see you. Joey, get in there. Chris, are you getting there? Yeah. Good. Sorry about
We're
that.
not even in here. You missed it? The real Korean.
I was Guy 2.0 and I won both.
Brad, you cheated. I don't understand.
Then after court. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. I think a few of you are still waiting, but you should be pretty close to being there. I do want to, now this is not on your notes because you've already seen that under causes, but I want to go back over targets for a few moments. Our targets are to continue to work on the causes, and then we will move forward into the effects of World War I. Militarism, imperialism, nationalism, alliances, and what's the other one?
Where's this?
Assassination, right. So we're just looking at the scope. We're going to look at the global scope and the outcomes not only of human cost, but also of the military costs. And we're going to look at new technologies. Mostly we're going to focus at this point at here, the differing point of views, and how the war started as a result of that. Okay, now does everybody have the notes up? Hold on.
Not quite.
Yes.
Almost.
Yes. Almost.
Wait.
All right.
I got him.
Yeah.
I got him. Wait, but it's not letting me. It's not letting me.
Wait, what's happening?
It's very frozen.
That's what happened to me at first. I typed, I was like, I clicked back on it, and I tried to put my mouse didn't.
Like it switched to the other side, like froze on.
It's very frozen.
Do you want to save it here?
If they start smelling, I need to bring freeze.
It really messes up my All right, here we go.
Has that been recording?
Yes, it has. All right, so what I want to do is I want to start off talking about Germany. We haven't spent a lot of time on it. We have been pretty quiet. No, it's not. Don't worry about it. We haven't spent a lot of time talking about Germany, so I want to give you a little bit of background on where Germany is, pre-war Germany. Now, one thing you need to know is prior to this, Germany, prior to 1873, Germany was not Germany. It was Prussia. Prussia. And during 1873, they changed their name. They actually consolidated with some other land, And rather than keep that name Prussia, they changed to Germany because their heritage was known as German. And so they just decided to take the name Germany from that. And so that's how Germany came into being. So the actual country, Germany, is relatively new by the standards of the other countries around Europe. Okay, not that they are actually an old heritage, country with a long heritage. They just were not known as Germany. That's new. All right, so their leader was known as Kaiser or king, but called Kaiser is the German name for king. So Kaiser Wilhelm II came to power in 1888. Okay, not all that long after that Germany came into being. Okay, so he was only 29 years old. Unfortunately, the Kaiser was not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Too bad. He was not a particularly strong leader, and he made a whole lot of unwise choices.
It's 1888,
1888. Right. So he didn't make the best choices for his country. He was also, because of his age, I would say to a degree, he was also seen as relatively weak in terms of his abilities. However, Germany was a strong country. He had a lot of really good advisors, and he had a very good military. So although he wasn't the strongest, as I said, the sharpest knife in the drawer, he had a lot of good people around him. All right, but he still made some poor decisions. He meddled in Germany's foreign policy on the basis of his own emotions. He did not like Russia. He felt slighted. He didn't think Russia, they were actually related. These were cousins. The ruler of Russia was his cousin. They didn't like each other. His policies were based mostly on his own personal emotions. They were often incoherent, meaning they didn't make sense, and inconsistent. They didn't follow any kind of pattern. So, he also refused to renew Germany's friendship with Russia, and Germany soon found itself in a minority of two. Its only European ally was the weakest of the European powers, which would be Austria-Hungary, which had at one time been a very strong empire. Now not so much. Not so much. But they still had a presence in Europe. So, here's Germany being built up by Wilhelm. And one thing he did do that was pretty substantial was that he had a serious commitment to making Germany strong. In particular, to building up their navy. He wanted it to rival Britain's, which Britain was second to no one in their navy. So not only though is he building up the navy, but he's also building up the military. Remember the picture that I showed you guys of the little guys, the little military guys, and how many he had? Well, he was also in the process of building his armies. He's also building his navy. Okay. He envies the power of British Navy and convinced him that Germany should build a large fleet of its own in order to fulfill its destiny. He believed Germany had a destiny to be the most powerful country in Europe. Now, one thing I want to also say to you is that, I told you Russia, he was, the leader, Tsar Nicholas, was a cousin of Wilhelm. So was the King of England. The King of England was a cousin of Wilhelm as well. So in essence, not only did you have countries fighting each other, but you also had families. How many of you know of family members who don't get along? Okay? So it's kind of like that in a way.
smaller.
Except, yeah, it's smaller. The difference is these guys had whole countries and navies and armies that could fight each other. me erase this because it's a little bit ahead of what we're doing. Okay. This is a way to keep focusing on the geography of this war. I want you to see the geography. I have serious concerns that, get the headphones out of here. I have serious concerns that you guys, some of you are not focused on what you're doing, that you've got other things up.
I'm like straight clean.
Okay, well, I think there are some who are. Yes. All right. Now, let's take a look at the map here, please. So, this is a map of this time frame that we're talking about. You can see Germany here, Austria-Hungary right here. They are aligned. They are the same color as well as Italy. This is the triple alliance. Good. Now, you have Great Britain, France, Russia.
What's the little red part?
Part of Italy.
Sardinia and Corsica. Okay. Corsica. Yes. Okay. Now, who's this? Triple what?
I something.
Not I-E.
Triple
Entente. Yeah. Triple entente. Remember, French word. France is part of it. So triple entente. These countries right here that you notice, the ones in the. Okay. I don't know what color that is. In the gold, those countries are neutral. Now, let's clarify that because we're going to use this word more than once today. What does neutral mean? Yeah, they don't want to be a part of the war. They're chilling. They don't want to be. They don't want to be involved. They don't want to be pulled in. So you've got countries all around Europe that are trying not to be pulled in. What is this area that you see right here below Austria-Hungary? What is that known as? It includes Serbia, right there. No. Remember, we talked about it on Monday. What?
Good job, Brad.
I heard it. Balkans. Remember, those are the Balkans. Now, shh, shh. Again, we're talking pre-war here. They, at this point, prior to the assassination, they are wanting to stay neutral as well. That won't last. Okay. Moving on. All right, now, right now, put your lids down for a few moments because I don't want you don't have to shut it all the way out. Just put your lids down. Everybody's lids down. 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 Good. Okay. Put them down. All right. Now, what I want to do, put it down. You don't have to. You can get it down. I just want to make sure you're listening to me and not doing other things. All right. Now, what I want to do here is I want to go over the process of how the war starts. And we're going to go back to the timeline and clarify it. But I want you to be listening first to this whole thing because I don't want you to get caught up in trying to type. I want you to listen, and then we'll go back to the timing part of it. Okay, so how the war begins, there's a process. It begins, this whole mess starts June 28th. It's not the beginning of the war. June 28th is not the start of the war. It's just the beginning of basically the start. Okay. Francis Ferdinand and his wife were assassinated. They're gunned down in Sarajevo, Bosnia. Okay. And here's the thing. Austria-Hungary, which is where he's from, sends an ultimatum to Serbia. All right, first of all, what's an ultimatum? Does anybody know what that is?
Decision, pick one or the other.
Okay, yeah. An ultimatum basically says you've got choices, and if you don't do this, then the consequences will be this. And you can choose not to, but then you choose the consequences. So what happened here is Austria sends an ultimatum, and it has several things, not the least of which is you will allow Austria now to come into your country and basically take some control. All right, so the thing is, why did they send it to Serbia when the assassination occurred in Bosnia?
because one of the people told them that the guns are from Serbia or something.
Yeah, actually they were all from Serbia. Even though it happened in Bosnia, they were Serbian terrorists. Serbia, and in fact, the main guy, the organizer, was a member of the government in Serbia. So they have good reason to focus on Serbia. Austria-Hungary had good reason. Okay, so they made this whole list of that was an ultimatum. Serbia, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before they sent the ultimatum, they said, they went to Germany, Germany, July 7th, 1914, and said, we want to send this ultimatum, but we need power to back it up because we're not that strong. And Germany says, okay. Basically, Germany advises Austria-Hungary to have a strong hand. Don't back down. And they assure Austria that if they don't back down, anything happens, Germany will be right there to help them. So, go for it, is basically what they said. Austria-Hungary sends the ultimatum. Serbia actually agrees to much of the ultimatum. It just will not agree to the fact of allowing Austria-Hungary to come in and begin to try to control some of their country. That's unacceptable. And so they, knowing they're going to say that, and knowing that the ultimatum is either you do or we will declare war, Serbia goes to Russia. Okay, there we go, now we got it. Serbia goes to Russia and says, look, we have been contacted by them. We don't want to agree to the ultimatum. And Russia says, we will back you. But in the process, they are fully aware that Germany is behind much of this. And so they go to Germany. They contact Germany and say, can we back it off some? You don't need to get this violent. We'll work it out. And Germany says, nah, So Russia, at this point, then decides we're going to mobilize. Now, what do you think mobilization means? Mobilize.
Get troops together.
Right, they're getting troops together in case. They're getting their troops together, guys. Well, bad time.
No, like,
I got it.
yeah.
Okay, so July 28th, 1914, Austria declares war on Serbia. Now, as I said, requests Germany to back off. Germany responds, though, once they see Russia mobilizing, they decide to declare war on Russia. And that is the official date of war, the start of war, August 1st, 1914. Not back on June, but rather August 1st, because that's when the first country actually declares war. Germany declares war on Russia. All right.
How do they do that? Just like I declare war?
Yeah, basically. Generally what happens, well, here in the United States, we use them as an example. In our country, the president has to go to Congress and request them to vote for war. And it has only happened 2 times in our history.
What if they declare war on us? Do we declare back
Well,
automatically, or?
no, you still have to go to the Congress and ask for a declaration. What 2 times you should know, what 2 times did the Congress actually?
World War I and World War II.
Exactly. Yes, those were the 2 times. Now, in this case,
What about
Germany, do
Those
what?
are just like,
Those are not considered full-on wars. I mean, they are, but they are not considered where it is a full-on, total commitment, military completely committed to.
they're just considered conflicts.
Yeah. Yes.
If someone's like, I don't have war, can you just be like, no?
You mean they request a war? Yeah, I guess.
You just say no.
It's just.
Well, I think, like for example, let's use Vietnam as an example, okay? What happened in the case of Vietnam, and this is, there have been other situations like Korea, where a country will say to us, we need help protecting ourselves from, which is really kind of what this situation is too. We need help, we want to protect ourselves from. And so, like in Vietnam and in Korea, we said okay and sent troops. It wasn't official war, and the president has the power to send troops. He has that within his, within that executive branch. Okay, but he cannot declare war. Now, there's a difference here. We're talking Germany. Who's in charge? What's his name? Kaiser. He is a monarch and basically a ruler. Yeah. He generally, what he does is he does consult with others, but basically does. Yes? No, we need to finish this first. Okay. Would you have to go to the office still?
I have to go down to the principal office.
All right. Okay. There be. We'll check. All right. So, there we go. Russia, now seeing that the war's been declared upon them, who would they go to for help? Who would they go to? France. Why? What do they have in place already?
Triple entente.
The triple entente. Yes. They have the triple entente. They go to France and say, Germany's declared war, and France responds by saying, we'll back you. We will back you. Okay, so Russia says they'll back, I'd say they'll provide the same backing that Germany provides to Austria. Guys, focus. Okay, Germany then says to France, stay out. Don't get involved. Okay, well that's not going to fly. Germany refuses, looking for revenge on what they see as past wrongs done by Germany. Germany declares war then on France August 3rd, 1914. Germany declares war on Belgium and crosses through Belgium in an effort to defeat France quickly. This will be known as the Schlieffen Plan. You should have, well no, you haven't heard that yet. The Schlieffen Plan, which we'll discuss next class. Okay, they will, by simply going through Belgium, who was neutral. Prior to this, they were not part of the war. Germany tries to plow through Belgium to get to France in an effort to take down France very quickly. The invasion of Belgium results in Britain declaring war on Germany because they hadn't really been all that interested. Even though they had that triple entente, Britain was a little bit hesitant to join in. But once they go through Belgium, a neutral country, Britain's in. And battle lines are drawn, war begins in August 1914. Now I want to show you quickly what I'm talking about here. There we go. Here's Germany. Now, they have shared lines with France here. France is looking here at this line, right here, as possibly where they're going to come. But what Germany does with this Schlieffen Plan is they decide they're going to come, and Paris is about here. They want to come in, flank, and try to then attack and take Paris, which will basically take out France. They won't have to worry about France. The goal is not to worry about France. And then the war they saw was here, between Russia and Austria-Hungary. They believe that's where the worst part of the war would be. Here's the thing, and we'll, as I said, we'll talk about that. This does not happen. Instead, what happens is Belgium surprises them and stops them for a little while. Not long, we're just talking a few days. They didn't expect any resistance through Belgium. They expected to plow through there and Belgium would be going, and that didn't happen. Belgium was able to gather together enough troops, now badly outgunned, but they were still able to slow them down long enough for France men to put together military, and then England arrived. And so what Germany had in mind, and would have succeeded had not Belgium done what they did. Now Germany is here in France, but they are stopped because Britain and France now are together working to hold the line. And we're going to look at these battles to see what exactly happens. Okay. All right. So let's finish this up. You've got timeline here, and this is back on your computers. Yeah. And this is basically, this timeline is basically what I've already talked to you about. Okay, the flames of war were fanned by the assassination of Francis Ferdinand. And this plunges Europe, all of Europe, into war. And by the time the war is over with, it's the whole world involved. 628-14, Archduke Francis Ferdinand, heir to Austria-Hungary throne, and his wife are assassinated, we know that already, by Serbian nationalists in Sarajevo. 7-5, July 5th, 1914, 5 days before my birthday, only I wasn't born then yet. Kaiser Wilhelm II promises German support for Austria-Hungary against Serbia. 7/28, 18 days after my birthday, Emperor Franz Joseph of Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. Did I go too fast?
Yeah. I missed something that I thought we did.
There, that should do it. Okay, 7/28/14, as I said once again, 18 days after my birthday. Emperor Franz Joseph of Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia and Russia. Can I move from just to there?
Yeah.
Okay, and see, that'll give you the whole picture then. Okay. Then on 7/29, 19 days after my birthday, Russia mobilizes or begins to mobilize her armed forces. Austria-Hungary troops invade Serbia. So yeah, invade Serbia. Now we haven't really talked about that, but what Austria-Hungary? Remember, Serbia is who they sent the ultimatum to, and when Serbia didn't agree to the ultimatum, they did invade. So Serbia joins which side of the war then? Entente or the Allies? Entente, yes. We're going to see very soon. Now, not yet. Well, yeah. Well, no, not yet because the war hasn't actually started yet. It has 2 days to go. There'll be a change in the names. Let's see if you have any trivia here, knowledge. What becomes, instead of the Triple Alliance, what does Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire eventually become known as? Okay, so it's not Europe. Germany, Austria-Hungary, and then the Ottoman Empire. They join in. Italy, remember, pulls out of the alliance and goes to. That's at the end of the war. That's a good guess. They become known as the Central Powers. Central Powers. Then what does? Because this I think gets confusing. What do France, Germany, France, England, and Russia become known as? No. They become known as the Allies, which I think is confusing considering the other side was at first known as the Triple Alliance, Allies, and then in the end, the Triple Entente becomes known as the Allies, and the Triple Alliance becomes known as the Central Powers. And I will have that written down for you at some point, but that's kind of crazy. All right, we're gonna move on. Yes. All right. Now the official date of World War I, and last year was on August 1st. Last year, 2014, was the 100th anniversary. Okay. Official outbreak of World War I declares, Germany declares the war on Russia. That's where it starts. Second, Germany invades Luxembourg, another country that is neutral. Then it declares war on France, not neutral. August 4th, Germany declares war on neutral Belgium and invades. That's that movement through Belgium, designed to defeat France quickly. This violates a treaty signed by Prussia. Remember, prior to being called Germany, it was known as Prussia. Respecting that this treaty had respected Belgium's neutrality. As a result of this invasion, Britain declares war on Germany and Austria-Hungary. And then Canada, and this is where it begins, where the world starts to join in. Canada follows suit and joins in the war on Britain's side, on the Allies' side. We declare neutrality. Although Britain tries hard to pull us in at first, we will not, in France, we do not go. We try to stay neutral. Okay. By the 7th of August, the British Expeditionary Force is landed in France to help the French and the Belgians stop the German line, the German offensive, and to a degree they are successful. Although the battle had begun, hope still remained as German and British troops will celebrate Christmas together, and I will show you that next class. A Christmas truce that they end up, in some cases, celebrating together. That hope would soon disappear as the war will drag on and on and on and on with little gain by any side. Once you are done with the notes, go ahead and upload, but don't close out. You're going to use it. I have a little activity we're going to do, and you're going to need it. Well, hallelujah. Yeah. But make sure, as I said, you do need to upload, but make sure you don't close out because you are going to use these notes for an activity. I'm sorry, I didn't hear me. I will have you away in a moment. There's two minutes.
No, I didn't get one.
What about math?
I'm sorry, I thought I did. I guess not. I guess I did.
Look, you're out of battery.
Yeah. Did you also leave Germany, war begins. But that's upload. Man, that's hot. What? I really can't, because our stuff gets noisy too. Oh my Isaac!
That wasn't me.
Okay, that's a big slide.
Someone else, $2.
I get
Just
$2?
that fan right there moves and stuff instead of moves it away from me.
So you tell me I have 20 words?
Is it there? It's there. I don't know.
Oh, so I'm not watching a movie in Spanish.
I could have told you that.
Is there some French in there?
Okay. There's one on both sides. I'm hearing this. I'm not hearing that.
Yeah, there's one on both sides. Why can you not hear that in Spanish? Because they will still
I don't hear that. Yeah, quickly. Yes.
Are you gonna give us $2?
Am I giving you
Says
$2?
sum it up for $2.
No. All right, let me, hang on a second here. I need to bring up, then, yeah.
I was trying to do it. This tense Pass this back over like this. The pass. I was good. Yeah. Well, if I want to be here, if I want to I would. Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
$2.
Now
That's $2.
All right.
We get $2.
Right. I'll explain.
Alright. It says it, that's false advertising.
You're taking me recording. I'm gonna see that. Is this recording still? Did I miss it recording?
Yeah, that's in Spanish.
I hear that now, yeah.
I told they
Why did they do that?
I'll send him another. This is really like Jay getting fan now.
What's wrong?
Well, it went full screen and it's, for some reason, I
Well,
didn't think about escape. I never use escape, that's why
they're
I
not
didn't
me.
think about it. Nope.
They're not.
Hey, Miss, Fitzman,
Yeah,
don't most Canadian people speak French?
no.
Don't a lot of them
Only-
speak
no.
French?
Those in Quebec. In Quebec.
Who cares? French is stupid language.
The two national languages are French and English, right?
Yes.
French stuff.
I connect.
Oh my bad. He really sees what this
He speaks French.
He's never gonna ask you that.
Learn Texas.
A lot of them do.
You have more
And can you French? French from France, there's differences.
But the only ones that don't speak French
That's called, that's
I don't know why it won't let me out of this.
Brad.
Let me try. Oh, here, this is what I put that one. Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. I hit the wrong one. That's what it was. Yeah.
Steven. Oh yes. Check your. Yeah.
Let's see if I can get it to connect correctly. There it is. All right. Now, everybody's should have uploaded. Guys, focus. Everybody should have uploaded. And what you have, the paper that I've given you in front of you is a sum it up paper. Now, what we're going to do is, because there are a lot of concepts here that can get a little overwhelming, and so I want to make sure that it's very clear to you where we're going here. So we're going to use this, at this point, this particular way to kind of make sure you've got the ideas. How this happens is, first thing you need to do is put your name, date, and reading section will be just what we've done these notes on, which is pre-war Germany. That would be the reading section. So you're going to use the notes from pre-war Germany, which you just did. Okay. Now, hopefully I can get this thing moving. Yes. All right. So in this section called main idea words, what you're going to do is read the section. And I'm reading the instructions there. Read the section. Well, in this case, we're talking about our notes. You're going to read the notes. And what you need to do is, you don't need to have to worry about underlining keywords, but rather what you're going to do is you're going to write here in this blank area keywords or phrases that relate to these notes that will help you with understanding. You're going to mark these keywords right here. So give me an example of what you think might be a key word from your notes. Militarism. Now, wait a minute. Did we talk about that in the notes? Germany. Germany. All right. How?
Serbia.
Okay, we could add Serbia. Now, don't get caught up in just countries. What else would be? Assassination. Okay. All right. So words like this. You can use key phrases as well. Assassination of Franz Ferdinand. You could say Germany declares war. Okay. So go through your notes, add or note the main ideas here. Okay. Then, and I want to talk about this before you get too involved. Oh, let me show it on the. Let's go down here to sum it up part. Okay. During this time frame, especially, the telegram will be extremely important. The telegram, and has anybody here ever gotten a telegram? No. Most people haven't.
Oh no.
A telegram.
Oh, I like a letter.
A telegram is a message. It is, for all intents and purposes, it is 1914's text messaging. It took a while. Yeah. And that's what helps. It's okay. I'm going to wait till people get quiet. You are correct in saying Morse code. They were often sent using Morse code, although that wasn't the only way a telegram could be sent. So, but a telegram was written very simply, and I'm going to show you an example of one. This is an example of a telegram here. I jumped. What is going on here? There it is. I jumped around. Okay, this is an example of a telegram. It actually was sent in 1908. And it's sent to Mrs. B. Remmers in Pennsylvania. And it's what's being said there is born morn today. So born in the morning today. Benton Remmer Baldwin. Okay, all well. Telegraph a telephone later. Signed by probably her son-in-law, Edwin Baldwin. Quickly sent. As I said, it's like a text message, waiting, she's been waiting to find out this information about her daughter's had the baby. So, Alright, but it's, do you see how it was sent very, I'm in the middle of teaching, nope. Do you see how it is sent by just the barest information? Is there, it says all well. How would you normally say all well?
Oh, wow.
Everything's okay.
Everything is okay, all is well now. But instead, they just wrote all well. You get the point, don't you? It's short to the point. Alright, and that is the purpose behind what you see here. After gathering, and you sum it up, after gathering that information that you do right here, then you need to sum it up using the idea of a telegraph, which is 20 words or less. Because in that day and time, it would cost $2 to send a telegram. Now, that doesn't seem like much at all to us today, but for them, that could be a week's wage. So that's a lot of money right there. So you say, what you do is, what I want you to do is then think about what happened, and can you sum up the start of the war in those 20 words?
Can we just like all well?
Oh, yeah. You know what's missing? What are the type of words that generally will be missing here?
Use the for
Anything, you don't need to
Articles.
put, yeah, you don't need to put, but it still needs to make sense, okay? Still should make sense. And it may not make perfect sense, but it should be, when I read it, I should have the right idea. Put the magazine away, please, or whatever that is.
we do this now on that piece of paper.
It's right now, yeah. This is the assignment right now to be done. That's why I say keep your notes open so that you can use them to help you.
So, who we writing to? You gotta use one?
No, you're writing to me.
Okay.
You don't have to say that. All you have to do, you don't, like that telegram had to who. You don't have to because you sent it to me. We know that. All you have to do is write the information. Once you have it done, and please remember, I expect, in this area, I expect you to be, I expect to see a lot of information here to help you write that. This should not be what you do first. That should be last. So, I'm coming around to check on it.
Yeah. You had this recorded, right?
Yes.
Then I'll just do one get home and submit it.
Okay. You can still, you can still, with what you have, I want to turn off my recording. There's two.
Yeah, maybe.
Let me shut down the recording here.